Okay, so is my voice audible to you all? So today we will learn. Is my voice audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So in the last class we have stopped at the equivalence class partitioning we were studying, and today we will start from the boundary value analysis. Now boundary value analysis means when we are doing the C programs, sometimes we use this statement instead of this, or sometimes we use this statement instead of this, or we were supposed to use this but we have used this, or either case. So what happens is these are the boundary problems, right? So a typical programming error that is frequently done by the programmers is missing out the boundary problems. And these boundary value problems, when we will design a test suite using these boundary value problems, then we will refer to as the boundary value analysis. Now how we will design the boundary value test cases? Now when I will be given a range of values, I need to identify the equivalence classes. Now in the equivalence classes we know that two types were there, like one negative, two non negative, like this they were there. So what happens is, when in order to design a boundary value test case, it is required to examine the equivalence classes to check, so that if any of the equivalence classes have a range of values, that is, for the equivalence classes which does not have a range of values, remember this thing, boundary value test cases cannot be defined. So boundary value test cases can only be defined for the equivalence classes which have like range values. In the last class we have studied that values can be within a particular range, like 1 to 100, 200 to 3000, or within a domain, like when we operate with strings. So for that, those type of cases, non-range type of values, boundary value test cases cannot be defined. Remember this, okay? So it can only be defined when my input to a particular program module will have a range of values. So suppose uh, like there is an equivalence class which contains the integers in the range of 1 to 10. Okay. So if asked that found a boundary value test suit for this. So 1 within the range I will take, suppose 1, and then I am taking suppose 9. Then 1 from below the boundary range, that is just at the boundary of 1, and 1 from upper boundary range, that is just at the boundary of 10. So just at the boundary of 1, what is there? Anyone? Just at the boundary of
minus
1,
one,
what is there?
minus one.
Eh, 1 से डायरेक्ट -1 पे आ जाते हैं, बीच में कुछ डिजिट नहीं होता है।
Zero.
Zero, ma'am.
हाँ, और 10 के बाउंड्री में जस्ट क्या है?
11.
हाँ, सो दिस विल बी माई बाउंड्री वैल्यू टेस्ट सूट। ठीक है। So in the last class we were dealing with the example of like to compute the square root of integers that will accept the values between the range of 0 to 5000, right? So if that is the case, if you are asked that your range of values which the program will accept is 0 to 5000, so what will your test suit? चलो, बाउंड्री वैल्यू टेस्ट सूट क्या होगा? एक जीरो डाल दिए, एक 5000 तो डाल दिए, और यहाँ पे क्या होगा, जल्दी बोल रहे,
5001
राइट, और यहाँ पे
-1.
right. So these are the ways in how we design the boundary value test cases. So black box testing के भीतर दो types था, equivalence class partitioning, how to design that we have learned, and boundary value analysis things, how to design these test cases we have learned. So if I summarize the entire black box thing, what is that? First is we were supposed to examine the input output values. We will examine the input output values of a particular program or a module, whatever is given. Then we need to identify the equivalence classes, right? We need to identify the equivalence classes, and then first, after identifying, we will design the test case. That is, which test suite we will formulate in order to check or test the program. We will design that test case. And after that, if uh, that equivalence class falls within a range, then we will design the boundary value test case. So two test cases will be there when there will be a range of values. First the test case with equivalence class, then the test case with boundary value class, right? And if our given input to a program does not follow or does not follow any range of values, then only equivalence class test case we will be doing. So these so the so these are the four things which we keep in mind when we refer to black box testing issue. Now remember one thing, two types of black box we have studied, but when it comes to testing, we apply both the kinds of black box testing. That is, it doesn't happen that we apply first the equivalence and we do not apply the boundary. No, both the testing we have to apply on our specific module under test. If it satisfies that the boundary value analysis can be done, then boundary value test case also we will have to pass my module through. And if it doesn't satisfy, only the equivalence. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next topic is, now with this the black box testing is done. The next topic is white box testing. अच्छा, तुम लोग ना चैट बॉक्स में अपना नाम डाल देना, एक सॉरी, चैट बॉक्स में अपना नाम डाल देना, हम वहां से आप लोगों का अटेंडेंस डाल देंगे. Okay. Now, when it comes to white box testing, a large variety of white box testing strategies exist. So, each and every type is designed or is implemented to perform or to find certain type of errors. So, lot of testing processes are there under white box testing. So one by one we will be studying that. Now, white box testing in a broader way can be of two types. One is fault based, one is coverage based. Now, this fault based testing we will be studying in later classes. There is one type of testing which is known as mutation testing. Okay, that comes under this fault based testing strategy. Now this strategy, it detects a certain type of faults. These faults which this strategy detects, this constitute the entire entire fault model of our system. So fault based testing in today we will not be learning. We will be learning in next or third class. First we will start with the coverage based testing because this will be first easier to learn. Now this coverage based testing, it happens what, suppose I have a module and there is certain elements in my module. uh, it will cover those statements under the testing process. That is, suppose if I have a program that only constitutes of sequential test statements. Suppose a equal to b, in the next step b is equal to c into d plus 4, like this. So I will do statement coverage testing method for that. Then suppose if in my program I have for loop or uh, like if loop, while loop, so on, I will do branch coverage testing for that. Suppose I have nested for loops, I will use multiple condition coverage testing for that. Then suppose I have more complicated or complex program module, then I will use path coverage based testing for that. So a lot of coverage based testings are there which comes under the section of the broader name coverage based testing. And each of these method, they are being applied depending on what is the input module of my test or what is the program under test which I am going to test. So depending on the complexity of programs, a lot of coverage based testing methods we apply. All the methods we do not apply in the same module. Depending on what my module is, I will choose which type of coverage based testing I will apply. So the coverage based testings are, which I have just stated, is statement coverage, then comes branch coverage, then there is multiple condition coverage, then there is path coverage. So basically these are the four basic coverage based testings which we will be studying now. Now what this coverage based testing word means, it means that suppose I have a program, and in my entire program, suppose a certain block of my program I want to test. Suppose a certain while loop or a certain iterative loop or a certain switch loop, something, certain segment or certain program elements of my entire module I want to check. Then I will apply this coverage based testing in order to discover the failures. Okay, so the next thing is, we will study one by one what are these things. Okay. So the first one which we will be start with is statement coverage. Now what is statement coverage? In statement coverage we will design the test cases such that every statement in the program is executed at least once. That is the principal idea behind this statement coverage strategy is that unless a statement is executed, so there is no way to determine whether an error exists in the statement or not. So every statement needs to be executed at least once in order to understand whether that statement has any error or not. And if we design state test cases such that every statement is executed once, and such coverage based testing will be referred to as statement coverage based testing. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, why is that necessary? Now, the thing is, sometimes without executing every statement, we are not able to understand whether some other problems are there or not. Suppose sometimes you have come across while executing the C programs, sometimes there is illegal memory access. है ना? तो suppose we have used a wrong arithmetic operator symbol. Huh? So this type of things you cannot identify unless and until every statement is executed once. So for that instances, we will be using this type of things. Now, if I ask you, suppose let me write a small code. So this is my statement one. This is two, three, 4, 5. Suppose these are the statements. So this is the program at hand. Okay. So the program is like we are computing the GCT, greatest common divisor of two numbers. So this is the program how we do it. Hmm. So if I tell you that using the statement coverage concept, we will have to design the test cases such that each and every statement should be executed at least once, each and every statement. Then what are the values of x and y's which we can test such that each and every statement is executed? Can anyone say? See, I will give you a hint. The if the condition says that while x is not equal to y, that means when x will not be equal to y, either x is greater than y or x is lesser than y. First, the two possibilities are there. And the next is this while loop. When I say each and every statement will be executed at least once, this while loop, I will have to loop forward for all the true values such that each and every statement within the while loop will be executed, and I will have to apply for the false value also such that if it doesn't satisfy the while loop, it will move out and give, that is this statement will be executed. And inside the while loop you can see one statement is there for the value of x greater than y, and another is there for the value of x lesser than y. So both the statements we need to execute. So for that, first x greater than y, one value of set we need to, in order to execute this statement, and x lesser than y, one value set we need in order to execute this statement, and also x is equal to y, this uh, also we need to make true conditions so that it will automatically jump here and this will be executed, right? Yes or no? So anyone tell me what are the three sets of values which we can take in order to perform the or to order to build the test cases for the statement coverage based method. Anyone first? Bolo.
1 1 1 2 2 1.
Yes, right. Perfect. So, if I am asked that find the test cases for statement coverage based testing for this program, this is my answer. One for the value of x greater than 1, one for the value of x lesser than 1, and another for the value of x1 to be equal in order to execute the statement which will be executed when my while condition will be false. Fine. Is this thing clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we will
Yes,
move
ma'am.
to the branch coverage. So, same like the statement coverage, we were building the test cases so that every statement will be executed at least once. So, like this, when I will be formulating the branch coverage testing, I will make my test case such that each branch condition in the program will be executed in the branch at least once. That means that when a condition is there, two possibilities are always there. One possibility is that my inputs will satisfy the condition, and second possibility is my inputs will not satisfy the condition. So one will give me results when my condition will be true, and one will give me results when my condition will be false. So both the true and the false values in the branch condition, we need to design test cases and we need to check or test for that. Same. So branch coverage, what happens is each branch in this entire program must be taken at least once. So branch coverage is also known as edge testing. So if in the same example, that is the previous example only, if I ask you 1 minute. Okay. So suppose in the same example, for the same example, if in order to achieve the branch coverage testing, so what will be my test cases?
1 1 हट जाएगा, बाकी दोनों तो सेम।
1 1 क्यों हटेगा?
मैम तो सिर्फ कंडीशन चेक करना है, ठीक है, 1 1 भी रहेगा तो।
बाकी और कोई? कंडीशन चेक करने हैं फॉल्स वैल्यू के लिए भी ना, तो फॉल्स वैल्यू कब होगा? 1 1 में भी तो कंडीशन का फॉल्स वैल्यू होगा ना,
यस मैम।
तो फिर उसको भी चेक करना है हमें, ठीक ना?
देन तो सेम हो जाएगा मैम।
हाँ तो सेम होगा, तो इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है,
ठीक है,
ठीक ना?
ठीक है।
तो फिर आउटपुट क्या आया कि इस एग्जाम्पल के लिए यही मेरा स्टेटमेंट कवरेज टेस्ट केसेस में मिला और यही मेरा ब्रांच कवरेज टेस्ट केसेस मिलेगा। ऐसा प्रोग्राम हो सकते हैं जिसमें दोनों ही सेम है। इससे मेरा फॉल्स कंडीशन चेक होगा, इससे मेरा ट्रू कंडीशन चेक होगा। ट्रू एक बार चेक होगा मेरा एक्स बड़ा के लिए और ट्रू एक बार मेरा चेक होगा एक्स छोटे के लिए, ठीक है? सो this is the concept of branch coverage. Now जो next है वो है multiple condition coverage. आप सारे लोग चैट बॉक्स में नाम डाल देना, ठीक है? मल्टीपल कंडीशन कवरेज। नाउ मल्टीपल कंडीशन कवरेज में क्या होता है, टेस्ट केसेस डिजाइंड होता है to make each component of a composite conditional expression to assume both true and true values. Suppose मेरे पास अगर ये एक सपोज एक है C1 एंड ऑपरेशन कर रहे हैं विथ C2 और इसके साथ हम लोग और ऑपरेशन कर रहे हैं विथ C3। सपोज दिस इज माय केस। तो हम लोग जब मल्टीपल कंडीशन कवरेज का टेस्ट केस बनाएंगे उस पे सपोज दिस इज माय एंटायर कंडीशनल एक्सप्रेशन, देन इट विल फर्स्ट एज्यूम ट्रू वैल्यू फॉर वंस एंड फॉल्स वैल्यू फॉर वंस, है ना? तो बोथ ट्रू एंड फॉल्स वैल्यूज मेरा ये एंटायर जो कंडीशनल एक्सप्रेशन है वो हमें रिजल्ट देंगे। हम ऐसे ही डिजाइन करते हैं। सो व्हाट वी डू इज we do check that whether C1, C2, C3, these elements, whatever it is comprises in the statement or in the condition, they will assume both true and false values। वैसे हम लोग डिजाइन करते हैं। नाउ इसका अगर एग्जाम्पल देते हैं, वन मिनट, वन मिनट। अच्छा, सपोज ये मेरा एक प्रोग्राम है, इस पे तो पता ही चल रहा है इस प्रोग्राम में एक बग है, वो ठीक है। तो सपोज ये मेरा एक प्रोग्राम है, तो इस प्रोग्राम का प्रॉब्लम क्या है? सपोज हमको इस प्रोग्राम का, जो तो सिर्फ वो कंडीशन वाला स्टेटमेंट में नॉर्मली मल्टीपल ऑपरेटर्स यूज हुए हैं, तो हम लोग इस स्टेटमेंट को चेक करेंगे। तो इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या आता है? सपोज मेरे पास पहला टेम्परेचर है 160 और दूसरा मेरा टेम्परेचर है 40। ठीक है, तो अगर ये होगा, मेरा 160 पहला टेम्परेचर है, 40 मेरा सेकंड टेम्परेचर है, तो ब्रांच कवरेज जो है वो अचीव होगा, ये सर लो। मेरा जो ब्रांच कवरेज है वो अचीव होगा?
नो मैम।
क्यों नहीं अचीव होगा?
मैम दोनों जगह तो टेम्प ही है, दोनों जगह 160 वैल्यू हो जाएगा ना यहाँ
नहीं, हम बोल रहे हैं कि जेहेतु ये और ऑपरेटर है, तो इससे मेरा ब्रांच
पे।
कवरेज।
कंडीशन हमेशा ट्रू रहेगा यहाँ पे, हमेशा।
हाँ, मेरा क्वेश्चन है ब्रांच कवरेज क्या अचीव हो सकता है विथ दिस टेस्ट केस, वैल्यू ऑफ टेम्प इज इक्वल टू 160 एंड 40?
हो सकता है मैम।
हाँ, हो सकता है, क्योंकि यह जेहेतु ये और है, यहाँ पे ब्रांच कवरेज अचीव हो सकते हैं, बट इफ आई लुक फॉर मल्टीपल कंडीशन कवरेज, विल इट बी अचीव?
मैम ऐसे कंडीशन में कोई भी वैल्यू रखेंगे तो भी अचीव हो जाएगा।
हो जाएगा, पर प्रॉब्लम अलग से होगा। प्रॉब्लम यही होगा कि आपको अगर ऐसे कोई टेम्परेचर लेने हैं जो विद इन 150 टू 50 के भीतर लाई करते हैं, देन इट विल नेवर सेट द वार्निंग लाइट ऑन। तो 150 से लेके 150 के भीतर जितना भी आपका टेम्परेचर है वो कभी भी इस लाइन ऑफ कोड में जाएगा ही नहीं, है ना। तो यहाँ पे जो और है, यहाँ पे जेहेतु और कंडीशन दिया गया है तो हम लोगों को तो कभी फॉल्स मिलेगा ही नहीं कुछ भी। हम लोग तभी एकदम फॉल्स मिलेंगे जब 50 से 150 के भीतर कुछ लिखेंगे और ये दोनों साइड पे ही लिखेंगे तभी जाके फॉल्स मिलेंगे। सो दिस इज अ डिफिकल्ट टाइप ऑफ बग इन ऑर्डर टू डिटेक्ट। तो इस बग में क्या आया कि मेरा जो ये ऑपरेटर है ना, ये ऑपरेटर गलती से यूज हुआ है। एक्चुअली हम लोगों को वार्निंग लाइट ऑन कब होता है, जब टेम्परेचर बहुत हाई होता है या फिर टेम्परेचर बहुत लो होता है ना। दोनों ही टाइम में हमें वार्निंग देना चाहिए था। इस प्रोग्राम में जो कॉन्सेप्ट था उस प्रोग्राम का हम बोल रहे हैं। तो इस ऑपरेटर का गलत यूसेज की वजह से वो एरर ही हमें नहीं दे रहा है। तो इसलिए इस टाइप ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स अगर कुछ होता है तो ये मल्टीपल कंडीशन कवरेज के अंदर हम लोग उसको आइडेंटिफाई कर पाते हैं। क्यों? यहाँ पे हम लोग एक एक ऑपरेटर्स के ऊपर ध्यान देते हैं। अभी तक जो स्टेटमेंट एंड ब्रांच कवरेज पढ़े उसपे कंडीशन एज अ होल, आउटपुट और ट्रू और फॉल्स के ऊपर ध्यान देते थे। यहाँ पे कंडीशन का भीतर कौन कौन सा ऑपरेटर